hello, and oops, let's get it the right way. Sorry, folks. Thank you for joining me. I'm doing this broadcast live, and I'm hoping that it's going to post okay, because I'm away in one of my little retreat spots, and the Wi-Fi is not fantastic. But fingers crossed, everything will be okay for the message to get through. I've been waiting all day kind of for the signal. That's often the case when I'm going to do some channeling. I have to wait until they're ready for me, and they give me the nudge. Well, I've had the nudge. So I just want to say thank you for everybody who watches the video. I hope that it helps. The camera is at a rather strange angle because I'm holding it today, so hopefully that won't make any difference. And gosh, it's been red hot sunny day here, the second day after quite a bit of rain. So if I'm a bit red in the face, it's because I've actually been catching the sun. I've been enjoying myself doing some painting. And one of the things I did want to mention today is that our intuitive psychic abilities are in a process of opening, becoming operative and ready to respond to the energy beings who are around us. So you might have found yourself with lots of deja vu. You might have found yourself restless at night, thinking who's interrupting my sleep. You might have found yourself feeling as if there's somebody around, getting a lot of smells that there doesn't seem to be a source for, hearing noises and muffled sounds and there's nobody actually there. All of these things are part of our psychic senses, and if you've been watching my letters from the light side before, you'll know that I very much believe that we all have them and that we can all access them. And what we've had happening is that all opening and awakening has been very much stronger over the last few weeks, and now we're coming to the kind of I suppose the decision point whether to tune in or to tune out. But I'm saying but because somebody's been witching at me all day when I've been saying, when am I going to do this, when am I going to go live? One of the, oh hiya Karen, happy birthday darling. One of the things that they've been saying to me is patience, and I'm not very good at patience. But they have been encouraging me to be patient and to pass that message along. We are all going to have that choice, and we are all going to make as much or as little of our intuitive ability as we wish. So it's about being patient with yourself. These things don't tend to happen spontaneously overnight, although it may feel like it is to you, because there'll be lots of things that you haven't even noticed that have occurred that you've acknowledged in some level but not necessarily consciously. So please hang in with this process, and please, if you are up for it, because you don't have to be, but if you are up for it, please allow these abilities to become more at the surface for you. The reason being that if we want to change the world, we have to start using all of our abilities, not just the ones we think we have. And that's been a very important point for me this August, to start to recognise some of the things that I haven't been using as much. For instance, I've been painting while I've been here. I haven't had my paintbrushes out for a while properly and devoted myself to it, and yet I do know that they channel vibrational energy into the paintings, so that anybody who's buying one gets some energy, whatever energy they need, out of that painting. It's come from the energy beings into the painting to be released. And so it's time for us to encourage ourselves to use whatever our abilities are. Hi, Joy. It's time for us to set off on that path and say, I'm going to keep trying, I'm going to keep doing this. Now, I'm laughing because I know Mercury retrograde has been in Virgo, and there's been this lovely patience, but there's also been this lovely perfect. In fact, I was talking to my good friend Fiona about it yesterday. That aim for perfection. We want to do it, and we want to do it now, and we want to do it perfectly. Story of my life. Sorry, I'm laughing because I do beat myself up if it's not perfect. And I'm learning not to do that. I'm learning to just laugh at myself and go, oh, don't take yourself so seriously. So now is the time not to take yourself quite so seriously. We will do what we're here to do, but we've got other things just at this moment to focus on. We have to recognise that Mother Earth is responding to this shift as well. We have to recognise that our planet is a powerful planet in its own right, not just energetically, but on its surface. We only have to look at all of the weather across the world to be well aware that we are here in an impermanent world sort of thing. We tend to think that once we've built something, it will stay forever and a day. Life isn't like that. The world isn't like that. The earth isn't like that. And what we need to start thinking about is how we honour the earth. It concerns me that we frack. It concerns me that we think nuclear energy is the answer. It concerns me that we have pylons like great steel pins, acupuncture pins, in this beautiful earth body. I can't dismantle those. I can't stop them happening. But what I can do is to think about what ways I can encourage people to see things differently, which is why I talk about energy, because all those things are transferring energy, physical energy if you like. I'm talking about transferring the intuitive energy and making things different through the use of intuitive energy. So we've got to start talking to our children about intuitive energy and to bring them into an understanding of a world that isn't just based on physical principles. So we all have a role to play in that. We can all join that debate. There's no right and wrong in that debate. We can all join in that debate. And that for me is the important thing, joining in the debate and contributing your voice and allowing yourself to understand your skills and abilities can contribute to that debate as well. Whether it's creating a picture, or I have a lovely friend who has got some fabulous ideas for programs, asking questions on a wonderful ecologically spiritual perspective. And I know that Paula will achieve that because she's got the talent to put these things together in her unique way, with her unique voice. It doesn't matter where you are sitting, you can be an example to others. One of the things that I hadn't kind of released completely was having been through a situation of watching floodwater creep closer to my door. It has a psychological impact because it reminds you the world isn't as permanent as you think it is. And in the past week, people in many countries have had that horrible situation. and the uncertainty. But what there's also been is something I discovered, which was the phenomenal help that came from others. Friends or strangers, it didn't matter. People rallied to help one another. And that's what I've seen in the instances of the flooding across the world. You see it the same with fires, with wildfires. People doing their level best as communities to be there for one another. And that's an important thing. We don't report that as much as we really should. We don't honour that part of us as we really should. And so there's a whole issue of doing the best of your ability, not necessarily perfect, but perfectly doing the best of your ability, if that makes sense, that the guides and inspirers want to bring to you this week. It isn't always possible to be there in the events on the ground, but you can donate, you can send positive thoughts, you can send healing thoughts. I so believe in the power of healing. And here I must acknowledge a lovely lady who passed yesterday, Louise Hay, who came at this in her life, that you can heal your life. And if you can heal your life, you can help others to heal their life. I know that her inspirations and her wisdom will guide us onwards. It's the banner she's passed on to everybody else. You know, take this forward. I'm thinking of the Dalai Lama, who said, be the change to our young people, when he was doing a tour a couple of years, 3 or 4 years back, and he was in Manchester in the arena that was bombed. You know, we have to look at working to the best of our ability. So if the last week has been a bit unsure and uncertain, remember that you are solid within. That's an important reminder. You're solid within. You have the ability to live a good life, a happy life. If you can get to that inside, then the outside can rearrange itself. If we are the co-creators, and I keep being told we are the co-creators. Some days I wonder why we've done it this way, but we have. Okay. What I need to talk about is the energy of the week going forward, because we're stepping into September. I can't believe the year has gone so fast. Still catching my breath, I think, from January, never mind recognising it's September. What's really important in the next week is to think about how you can serve. That doesn't mean being a doormat or a martyr or a give and never receive. I hope that the lessons of this year have helped you to understand that giving and receiving is what we need to be doing. But there will be chances to demonstrate that you're ready to use your ability. There are several things I feel it's like they're showing me that we have to overcome the madness of fear. Hi Lucienne, hi Fiona. We have to... Oh, Fiona says I'm sideways. Oh, I hope that's... Am I back right now, Fiona? That's going to be an interesting one. Sorry, folks. If you... Anyway, whatever way it is, whoever, whatever. One of the things that it's really hard to do is resist the urge to get into the fear and share the madness. And there's a lot of madness around at the moment. I don't mean that in a mental health term. I just mean that we're not thinking straight. We're not thinking it through. We are not. We are not. Thank you, Fiona. We are not. We're not required to panic about anything, but we do. And it's important over the 1st, 2nd and 3rd of September to sit back on it, to say, well, wait a minute, this is not a big deal. This is not life-threatening in the sense that I think it is, or I'm fearing it is. There's this upsurge of saber rattling going on, and I do feel that we have to stay in that calm place and recognise that these things bubble to the surface. We have to acknowledge them, then we have to step back from it and say, well, I'm not getting involved in that drama. I'm going to just carry on using what I can do to make it the difference I can make. So it's really asking you to dig in and say, well, I'm good at this, so I'm going to do this while all this kerfuffle's going on over my head, and I'm just going to get through it. Now, that doesn't necessarily mean horrendously bad stuff, but it will mean that you know, keeping calm is the right angle. And I'm laughing because it's like seeing the world from a different perspective, which is why I had the camera angles all wrong. Just look at your world from a different point of view over the next 3 days. Step back from it and say, do I have to get into this? What is a better response? What is a calm, well thought through response? Because I feel on Monday there's another gentle shift of energy into a more relaxed, phew, that wasn't so bad, I can do it, I'm okay, and a sense of being able to work your way through it. Sorry, somebody's just coming in. Okay. I've got Uriel here, and I've got Gabriel, and I've got Michael, and I've got Raphael, and they're just standing in a 4 square, and they would like us to understand that we can be far-sighted if we choose to be. If we choose to be in the drama, that limits our vision. But if we choose to look ahead and choose to remember that we're here as a physical existence until we return to a spiritual existence, that it's about doing the things that are right for us to help us heal and the planet heal. And I do feel that we've got their energy very much from Monday through the rest of the week. So if you are getting stuck with things, or if you feel as if it doesn't make sense, I don't know what's not going to make sense, but whatever in your life isn't making sense, just spend a few quiet moments. Hi Zara, just quiet moments, sitting and asking, what can I do to be of service to myself and to others? And I do feel that these lovely archangels will step right in to help you to recognise what your ability is in any particular situation. Because once we find out we can do it once, we're much more likely to do it again. And I feel they're asking us to practice, to understand that we with practice, it will make it perfect. Our responses will become new responses. So the old patterns will fade away. And one of the old patterns we are really trying to tackle at the moment is the pattern of fear, the pattern of survival. Will we survive? And that fear of death, and fear of death without ever connecting to anybody. So I know that they're wanting over the coming week to help you to understand how you connect, to help you to connect better intuitively. We're not talking about having a chat in the street, we're talking about how you get that lovely in the guidance, the voices that help. And the voices inside should always help. I know we have the ego mind whittering on the shoulder. We have to kind of go, turn the volume down. But it's about doing our level best to be focused on the positive and reminding ourselves that even though we can't be the person pulling the raft along, helping others, or be the person clearing up, or be the person fixing something for somebody 1,000 miles away, 100 miles away. In our own community, we can be the person. We can be the people who help. That's what I found when my town was flooded. Lots of people, near, far, helped in so many ways. And it wasn't simply about being present. It was about the moral support, the kind-heartedness and compassion that people could share and show. So we have an interesting week from a point of view of no big ups and downs on our energy levels, but some work to still recognise how to be of service to ourselves and others. In other words, to start telling ourselves what we're good at and telling others what they are good at, so that we can help share all those skills and abilities, and eventually we won't get it perfect because we'll have practiced it enough. There's one last kind of a little rider to this. One of the things that does unsettle us is when we don't quite know where we're going or what we're supposed to be doing. That bit of information for everybody still hasn't quite connected or clicked yet. It's on its way in, but we have to be a little bit patient. It's not quite the time to be certain, yes, that's where I fit, yes, that's what I want to do. And I do encourage you to ride with it as best you can. I usually like to know in my diary, I'm doing this, I'm doing this, I'm doing this. I've got much better at swapping and changing. I get the correcting fluid out and write something else in, then cross that out and write something else in. We like to have a purpose. Right now, this coming week, the purpose is to see where we can be of service. That's the purpose to focus on. Everything else will fall in behind it. It is a matter of trust. Laughing because I know all about that. I'm rubbish at trusting. But I do in the end. So, be kind to yourself. Be gentle to yourself. Serve yourself while you are serving others. Remember that things don't happen overnight. Whatever is your purpose will be fulfilled right now. The time is spent learning how to be the best version of you can. That's what we're on. So thank you for being here with me. Thank you if you watch this later on. I'll do my best to share it out. We seem to have had a reasonable internet connection. I've had to chuck everybody out of the room because this is the only spot that connects. So I've been really mean and said, you all have to go away. I'm going to go back outside and carry on painting because the sun's beautiful here. We're having a beautiful evening. Whatever you're doing in the coming week, enjoy yourself, do it well, have loads of fun and laughter, and remember, whatever the disasters that face you, the lightness of spirit is what pulls you through. Love yourself enough to be light about it. If you want to follow my daily blogs, that's at www.annieconboy.net. I do have an email newsletter, a monthly letter from Letters from the Light Side. If you wish to subscribe, there is a link on the page. Whenever you watch, enjoy yourself. Much love and thank you. Bye.